Welcome to the Dr. Greg Show, September 23rd, 2025. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Going to be a good show. Got lots of stuff planned. Should be really fun. The marine ecosystem. There's some minimal zones, man. There's some minimal zones that are happening. It's not a good thing. Hey, Marissa, how's it going? Check it out. Boom. Cyan at the left here, at the right. That's the nanoparticles. This is the algae. And then this is the merged image between both of those. This is the rapture. Welcome to the rapture. Pretty cool, huh? Love it. I mean, I could do that, Sponge. I wouldn't talk about it on stream, but it would be possible. So there were fluorescent dyes that were added to DNA oligonucleotides, and then the oligonucleotides were bonded to the algae. Sorry, into the carbon nanotubes, and then put it into algae. So, yeah, we didn't express endogenous production of the fluorescent proteins. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, wanted to go through what's the most insane thing you could create in a lab. I mean, man, I would probably say like an algae that could be used to replace gasoline. I think that's probably one of the coolest things. Got my shingles vax. Hey, Miss Fair, how's it going? Thank you for joining. That means you woke up the vaccine board. Miss Fair, thanks for coming in. Thank you for sharing. Guys, we wake up the board in 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yeah. Whoops. Wait, that's not right. What happened? There it is. Yay. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, all right. So that means that we got 343 coming for Miss Fair in 3, 2, 1. Yes. All that data shows that it was a zoonotic spillover event, natural. There's no scientific evidence to say that it was from the lab. 0. I actually have a paper pinned on my profile that goes over this. So, yeah, no scientific evidence. I mean, the biofuel possibilities are here, my friend. Augie Dog, we have the ability to do it right now. It's just that we don't have the political ability. So that's the problem. We have the technical ability, but we don't want to do it. And that's the problem. It would take about the size of Montana in order to do it. But that's with the current technology. If we actually invested into it, like some strains and stuff, we could actually decrease that substantially, and it wouldn't be even that bad with if we started to replace some of the corn ethanol fields with algae ponds. So it would definitely be doable. What's stopping scientists? Sponge, they're all the DNA synthesis companies, like basically track all the things that are being synthesized, so they kind of like know that you're not capable. There's like some banned sequences that they don't allow you to synthesize. Yeah, I'm sorry, MBW. Yeah, it's awful. I think his disinformation at that conference yesterday was just crazy. And he's just throwing in vaccines into this whole thing with autism, of course. And no, Clever Fox is all right. The biggest study, we'll probably be covering it multiple times today, so don't worry about it. Let me see real quick. Let's see this. Before we do that, sorry guys. Let me try to fix chat real quick. I'll fix you, chat. Sorry guys, got to change some lighting around. So I'm going to get you guys fixed up. 1 second. And then we'll go right through to the okay, the autism. Tylenol. Yeah. Oh, nice, Augie. Yeah. Totally cool. I totally understand that. Yeah, exactly. It is autism. Autism is genetic factor. Okay, JAMA. Let's do the JAMA paper. Okay, so real quick, guys. Hey, Jessica. Welcome in. All right, guys. So this is the paper. That's the best case study that we have. And it's basically talking about acetaminophen use during pregnancy and the children's risk of autism, ADHD, and intellectual disability. So the key question, the key points of the study. Does acetaminophen use during pregnancy increase children's risk of neurodevelopmental disorders? It's the main question that they were asking. And in this population-based study, models without sibling controls identified marginally increased risk of autism and ADHD associated with acetaminophen use during pregnancy. However, analyses with a matched full sibling pair found no evidence of increased risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability associated with acetaminophen use. So what does that mean, guys? That means is that there's a lot of things that are happening during a pregnancy, right? If someone has constant fevers, if they have constant, if they're sick, if they have high temperatures, that kind of thing, you're going to have, think about why they're taking the Tylenol. And so then you have to control for that, right? You have to figure out a way how to control for that. So what people do is they say, okay, well, are they going to be sick on both of the siblings? And how are we going to match that? How can we change that and give and control for that? Siblings. Hey, Apple. Nice. So siblings become the way that we can check and look for only genetic factors, right? Before, we were just looking at acetaminophen use during one child and the rate of autism and questionnaires. But now we can look at all of it with a sibling there, and a sibling is going to allow more information in regards to genetics only. So therefore, that's what that second part is. So the sibling control is the big point. And the meaning is acetaminophen use during pregnancy was not associated with children's risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability in the sibling control analyses. That suggests that associations observed in other models, which was the observations and the questionnaire stuff, may have been attributed to confounding variables. So that's the big thing. That's the big point, guys. And this is a 2.5 million child cohort in Sweden for 20 years. So this is the best one that we have to date. So this is Altquist 2024 out of JAMA in Sweden. Yeah, it is, Andy. Yeah. Yeah, sponge. It was already, happening. People are already doing it. So it's already been a question that have already been used. I don't know, Rhonda. I don't know if the mother was taking antipsychotics. I mean, that would be you have to have things that are approved by your physician first. I don't know. I don't know. There's not that many things that are approved during pregnancy. AB. I mean, I think that they have to be safe and legal, and it has to be safe and available and used at all times. Because what happens is that someone can present to the emergency room and they can present as sick and that people won't want to treat them. And what happens is they have to have all the medical tools in order to help someone in pain. And when you don't, it means that people are unwilling and unlikely to serve people that need it. So they get pushed out and told to go to the next hospital, not treat medical care here, and it hurts people. We actually have someone in the community whose daughter died because of that. So, and we're talking about elective AB. So elective abortion has to be illegal, has to be legal at all stages. Has to be. Exactly, Kukulis. Yeah, the acetaminophen is safe. It's not just this study, the American AMA, the Gynecology Association also agrees. And I think that those going forward is going to be where I go in order to see what's going on. What I'm going to go to first to see how and where they're going to go. Because right now you can't obviously trust the CDC, unfortunately, right? So the Harvard study that they mentioned, I doubt that it's a study, and it probably is just a questionnaire. So here, let's try it. Harvard study acetaminophen. Um, Using acetaminophen during pregnancy may increase children's autism and ADHD. This study was published. Okay, so it looks like it wasn't a. I can look at here. Yeah. So it doesn't look like it's one. It doesn't look like it's a Harvard study at all. Again, so people are not understanding what's going on. So this is just a school of public health, and this is them just making a statement. This is a statement. A study was published on BMC International Health. Dean at the Harvard and professor was the senior author. Okay, so that maybe that's what they're talking about. So again, let's check this out. I haven't checked this out, so we're looking at it live, guys. We're figuring this out live. I can tell you that I'm going to be interested in the methods and to see what kind of study they are and what kind of. Oh, okay. This is August 2025. Methods. We applied the National Guide methodology to the scientific literature comprehensively and objectively examined the association between prenatal NDDs and so conducted a PubMed search through February 2025 using predefined criteria. Yeah. So again, guys, like the 27 studies reported associations, 9 showed null, 4 indicated negative associations. Higher quality studies were more likely to show positive associations. But what were the So a lot of them, like the best studies are the ones with sibling control groups. 8 with separate analyses of sibling cohorts. Okay. What did they say? Let's see. Let's see, guys. We're readers. We like to read. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see what were the methodologies that they had, and where were the studies with the kids, the sibling control. So here's Alfquist. There's their characteristics of the study. They're listing all of them. And missing data, sample size. So yeah, that's the biggest sample size sibling control study. Again, so the biggest ones, even in their own data table, the exposure definition. So even in their own study, in this Harvard study, the best study of these is showing no association. Sibling controlled study. So the only one, is that the only one that was? Here's the siblings control study out of Norway. Okay, this is only 8 years. And how many kids? The cohort study? How many? Only discordant siblings contributed power. Siblings were discordant on exposure for 29 days, and the outcome for 34 families. So the second one is for 34 families. Okay, so again, these are not sibling controlled. Okay. So again, guys, the only ones that actually have sibling controls are the biggest one that we already looked with that's this one. Even with this Harvard study, even they're saying the same thing. It's just that they're using, thanks, Greg Mayan. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Linda, it's oh, Tron Runner, let's go. How many vaccines? Which ones? No, Joey, I'm looking. Oh, you're not listening. You gotta use your ears, brother. So the ones that I'm looking, I didn't look at the associations at all. I was actually seeing this right here. So again, sibling controlled study, and this was the only one. Okay, so then look at it. So find me another sibling control study with that big a thing. That's what I'm saying. So again, so this is the sibling control study. The only other one was Gustafsson 2021, and this was only 34 families. So versus 31,000. It's 100 times larger, that one. So like I don't understand. That's a lot bigger number. Literally 100 times. Who got vaccinated? Tron Runner, which vaccines did you get, brother? Flu and COVID today. Tron Runner, thank you so much. True Tron Runner, let's get some V's in chat for Tron Runner. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, Tron Runner. We love you for getting vaccinated in this community. We appreciate you, and we celebrate you. Thank you so much. Every single shot, every single time. Overview of the search results. Our literature, the application of the study inclusion criteria yielded 46 studies, but only 2 of them had sibling controlled analyses, with the addition of 4 separate sibling controlled study analyses. But they didn't include all 4? Okay, so that was ADD. This is ASD. Okay, so again, the only sibling control study. Again, guys, we're looking for sibling control. Why? Why does sibling control matter? This is something that the anti-vaxxers are linking a lot. This is the Harvard study by Prada et al. 2025. So this is the one that this is their big thing that they're trying to help, because they did find a positive association. But what they did was they just added a bunch of studies, 46 studies, and they didn't say their exclusion criteria. seemed very records excluded, reports not retrieved, records removed before screening. So they didn't remove any here. Records screened, records sought for retrieval, record. So they didn't exclude a lot of stuff. They took out in vitro animal studies, meta-analyses, reviews, editorials, comments. That's usually how you get. Yeah, that's not a real study, guys. Of course you're going to remove that. I mean, you're looking for an actual study. So yeah, I mean, this is a junk graph, guys. They're just, again, look at n equals 0. Reports not retrieved, 0. Reports excluded. N equals 316. I wonder why they're excluding those. Okay. And again, guys, so we're looking at the characteristics of the studies going there, and we're looking for sibling controlled studies because basically there could be a lot of reasons why there was a, mom is feeling hot all the time, having chills, feeling sick, right? They're taking acetaminophen because they feel sick all the time. And what if they feel sick and there's an underlying reason why they're sick, right? That's the idea. So the idea is to bring the sibling cohort in because that's going to, that confounding variable of the sickness and different things that could be happening during the pregnancy, you're going to be only looking at siblings. So therefore you're only looking at genetics. And that's the whole idea. So that's why the sibling controlled studies are the best, like the gold standard that we have. Why? Because we can't have two populations of pregnant moms, right? If you can't have a double-blind test for pregnant moms, because you can't have one that is. Oh, thanks, Skog. Appreciate you, guys. Follow Skog. He does really cool panels during the day, guys. If you like multi-person panels, I only do one-on-one interviews and stuff here. But if you like multi-person panels, like follow Skog in chat, guys. So that's the whole reason with the sibling cohort studies, right? We have to try and remove variables that could be causing things. So Simon Baron Cohen, is that Sacha Baron Cohen's brother? Is that what's going on? Okay. So again, guys, let's see how this study addresses that. What do they say? Quality assessment, ratings of bias of ADD. Okay, so they're trying to legitimize this by saying like, oh no, we looked at the risk of bias for the different studies. What? Okay, so they're trying to risk assess their own stuff to try to say, are we having a problem here? Studies grading on studies of prenatal acetaminophen use. Let's see what that happens. Why did it get negative numbers? So they gave hilarious. Very weak or none. So score study of evidence. So +2 is very strong. -2 is very weak or none. And they gave the sibling control -2 on large effect. So they said it's a bad problem that they got in -2. Again, control bias. Again, so the best way that they could do that is the sibling control thing. And again, they got -2 for that. How would you be control a bias? That's literally part of the sibling control. Strength of evidence got a 0. I mean, what in the world, guys? What is this? Are you seeing this? Strength of evidence is a 0. This is the best study to date right here. These numbers right here. So 2, -2, internal consistency, strong, but everything got strong. Everything got 2. Control of bias, -2, even though it's the only one with the sibling control. um, average of criteria, sum of criteria, 0, 0, 0. Expert opinion score, -2. So it got the worst score, even though it has the most and the highest degree of control. It got so bad they removed it. They removed it from here. Average and then before AlfQuest. So they guys, this is so, I mean, them right here. Before adding the AlfQuest and then average afterwards. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. Why are they have to be saying something in the paper about that. I mean, there's no way. They completely. A third large prospective cohort study conducted in Sweden by Alfquist found that the modest associations between prenatal acetaminophen exposure and neurodevelopmental outcomes in the full cohort analysis were attenuated to the null in the sibling control analyses. However, exposure assessment in this study relied on midwives who conducted structured interviews recording the use of all medications with no specific inquiry about acetaminophen use. What? Possibly as a result of this approach, the study reports only a 7.4% use of acetaminophen among pregnant individuals, in stark contrast to the 50% reported globally. Indeed, 3 other Swedish studies using biomarkers in maternal report from the same time period reported much larger rates usages, 63, 52, 56.4. This discrepancy suggests substantial exposure misclassification, potentially leading to a 5 out of 6 acetaminophen users being incorrectly classified as non-exposed. Sibling comparison studies exacerbate this misclassification issue. What? Non-differential exposure misclassification reduces the statistical power of a study, increasing the likelihood of failing to detect true associations in full cohort models, an issue that becomes even more profound in the within pair estimate in the sibling comparison. Magnified bias in sibling control comparisons can be attributed to the fact that only sibling pairs discordant on exposure and outcome attribute to within pair associations. What? This is so different than anything that I've ever heard about this. It doesn't, I mean, it's honestly above my head, but it's counter to everything that I've read or heard about this. Moreover, the Alfquist study in itself acknowledges bias from carryover effects, where the association with prenatal acetaminophen and ADHD varied based on birth order. What? The author attributed this to the increasing ADHD prevalence over time. Well, it's 25 years, dude. In summary, the limitations of data accuracy and methodology cast doubt on the accuracy and reliability of the sibling-controlled studies. What? Sibling-controlled design may, in fact, introduce bias rather than mitigate it. Thus, caution is warranted in the interaction of these findings. I mean, that seems wild, guys. That seems wild. They're literally just asking questions on the other things. So the fact that he thinks that this is somehow better, I don't get it. That is very odd. It's at the, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's nonsense. Hi, Francois. How's it going? Yeah, I mean, so guys, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I think that you look to like the associations of the AMA, ACOG, which is the OBGYN group, that kind of thing, you know? And I think that that's who you trust in order to make the decisions on these type of things. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice. Hot lips. Nice. Yeah, I am. I am. I'm not a physician. I'm a science doctor. Yeah. I mean, NCOG put out a he put out a um NCOG put out a statement saying that this they didn't rebutted it, and I'll show you my credentials, Mike Hawk. Why don't you go to your mom's bedside stand, look at her little black book, the one with all the hearts and stars around it. That's my name, and you can check it out there. All right. Yeah, I mean, guys, I don't try to hide anything. I'm so transparent. I'm like more transparent and like open than people, um, than anyone here. Than all your guys's little grifter fake doctors that are trying to, um, dude. I literally have my diploma and I could like pull it out for you, but I'm not going to. So, okay, Mike Hawk, you're totally true. You're totally right, dude. No, why would I want to? Why don't you gift something? You gift a galaxy, I'll do it. Do it for you. You're right, dude. I literally have my papers all published, dude, that you can look up. You can look at it. Look at it. So this is crazy. Is it safe for my son to take acetaminophen if he has G6PD deficiency? I don't know what's G6PD deficiency, and I'm not a physician, so I wouldn't know what it is. I would ask your PCP though. All right, guys. All right. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to study and learn. We're going to learn, guys. This is a learning space. We like to learn here. I know. Jocelyn, he's so crazy. Okay. We like to learn here. Oh, thank you, Vanity. I appreciate that. One in the chat, if you guys saw me on Josh Lafazan's stream today, a little science correspondence work today. It was so much fun. Thank you for that opportunity, Josh. I appreciate him giving me that opportunity to talk about it. I always love going on other people's streams talking about science. Nice. All right, guys. All right. So here's the idea. So we do. I did. I was on Dean's stream 2 days ago, and that was crazy. That was a really cool opportunity, and I went from like 9,000 to 12,000. So it was pretty cool. Okay. Dean's a fan of the show, guys. He comes into chat sometimes. He actually found and followed me since I had like 500 followers. I don't know how he found me so early, but it's actually kind of wild. And yeah, and he DM'd me and asked me to come on to talk about this whole acetaminophen thing, and it was a really cool opportunity. I'm a Christian atheist. I wouldn't say that I don't believe in God though. Okay, so we are learning about pandemics. I know, crazy. I want to learn about the viruses and pandemics that have happened in the world and how we can better mitigate some of these problems that we have in the future. Great books. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, Tori. It's very funny. All right. So I wanted to see we were learning about the Spanish flu. Okay, so major pandemics. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'm a microbiology PhD. I'm not a physician. Proudly not a physician. I am a proud scientist. Thank you guys. All right, so the Spanish influenza pandemic, guys, crazy death toll. 17 to 100 million people died from the Spanish flu. And then the plague of the bubonic plague is just absolutely wild. 25 to 60% of the European population. That is just, that is nuts that big of an impact. 25 to 60%. That is wild. I know. I think I might, Helen. I think I might. I just went to Disneyland. Yeah. HIV pandemic. I honestly, guys, I had no idea. I mean, HIV is still in a pandemic, by the way. HIV is still a pandemic, and it's killed 44 million, which is just wild. And then the Black Death, another bubonic plague, that happened again 1,000 years after. So it's second bubonic plague 1,000 years later, and then that's the COVID pandemic. That's still a pandemic. Is 7 to 36 million. So just tons. So COVID's the 5th largest pandemic in the history of the world. So we were learning about the Spanish flu before. It's just an influenza virus. That's what's so crazy. That dude, Mike Hawk, what is wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you? Why don't you request up? Like, why don't you be something? Let's just all wait for Mike Hawk to request. Let me try to find him. Why would you wouldn't believe it if I showed you? Yeah, rebar. It is crazy that it killed, and it disproportionately killed young and healthy people too. So it wasn't the normal influenza kills older, elderly, and young people. So the idea that it's actually taking out like the healthy adults too is just wild. Dude, I can't find this guy. He's such a coward. Yeah, pretty sure the problem wasn't just hygiene, bro. I can't find him. Yeah, he probably has less than 1,000 followers. Oh yeah, he has 0. He's just a fucking bot. Yeah, he's just a 0 bot account. That he's just. Yeah, exactly. What a coward. 1 second, guys. All right, guys. I mean, I just want to say, I do not ban for anyone having divergent or different opinions than mine. I think it's really important to have people with diverse ideas and opposing views in here. And oh, Daphne, let's go. 346. Daphne, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Daphne. So I don't ban for that. But if you just spam the same thing over and over and over again, and or type in all caps the entire time, we're obviously going to mute you, and because you're just being disruptive, and you're not here for a good faith effort. So that's what we do. So, oh, guys, this is my research. This is what I did. This is oh, my cock, we left too early, got banned too early. This is literally what I got my PhD doing. So on the purple on this side right here, this is the algae chloroplast, the autofluorescence from the chlorophyll. And then this right here is the dye on the carbon nanotubes. So we bound dye to the DNA. And when we did that, then we pushed this stuff into here, and see these little white spots like right here, right here, right here. These are all points that the magenta and the cyan overlap. It becomes white. So that means that they co-localized, and that's evidence that we have the DNA actually got into the chloroplast. That's cool. Thanks, Stars. That's cool. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it was Mrs. This is Dr. G in chat. She's my wife. Or not. It matters how many galaxies we're talking about. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Got to be like one of those OF girls that doesn't. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm happily married. It's true. It's true. It's true. I kid. But anyway, guys. Okay, yeah, she got me a blanket. That's true. My favorite. That's it. That's my paper. She made it into a pretty cool, huh? Oh, thank you, Carlitos. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy month, man. It's been really cool. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Ness. I know, Rebar. It's a really cool idea. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Microbiology. Got a microbiology PhD. All right. So we were reading about the Spanish flu. Guys, I had no idea. The original Spanish flu, we're talking about like 1918, just at the end of World War I. And it was a huge driver of all these troops going worldwide, and had a huge spread. As these troops move, it like went to the front lines. Had a huge problem with it. It's really interesting. Really, really, really crazy. I had no idea. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Rock. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hey, spam one if you've seen me on Dean's live the other day. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's crazy. My 30%, I got a 30% increase in followers because of that. 3,000 of you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Stars. Thank you. Yeah, it's been really cool. Really cool opportunity that I appreciate Dean giving me that opportunity to talk science, guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Do you know if there's a lot of research on long COVID, Tori? There's one, Iwasaki is the main researcher right now. Oh, right. We hit 13K, guys. Guys, I was going to have a 10,000 follower party and get all crazy, but now we just hit 13K in a day. And yeah, so it's been crazy. Really cool, guys. I'm really proud of, honestly, of the community and stuff that we have, because it's just a really cool
It's possible that some people might not even.
Okay, hey, let's watch this. Let's watch this instead of reading about this. Thank you for asking about long COVID. Let's watch this. A little change in plans. I like it's staying fresh, staying new, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's dude. The crazy thing is, I'm so proud of all like the working professionals that are in here, all the scientists, all the physicians, all the nurses. You know, it's so incredible the community that's just flocked here over the last, like, I've only been doing this for a little over a month, guys, and it's just been so cool, and I appreciate you guys. You're all in the trenches, you know what I mean? I advocate and I talk about science, and you know, all you guys are in the trenches and doing awesome work to help people at the interface of, you know, public health and people, and I just really, really appreciate you guys. So thank you. Thank you. My mom's a nurse, my wife's a nurse, and thank you. Oh yeah, you're talking about Physics Girl. Physics Girl is just an incredible person that, yeah, her story is really important. Thanks, Ado. Thank you, man. We talk about mental health a lot in here too. Mental health is a huge thing, guys. It's a path. It's not a destination. Everyone can be working on their mental health a little bit. Maiden, nice. Hey, guys, follow Maiden of Mayhem. Really good on this stuff too. If you're interested in long COVID and the mechanics of everything, Maiden Mayhem is a great follow. Nice. Perfect, guys. All right, cool. Let's follow. Let's listen to this. I've never seen this before. This is from the AMA, so I think this is really cool.
And realize they have long COVID. There are several reasons for this. First, the wide range of symptoms makes it difficult to pinpoint the cause to long COVID.
Hello and welcome to the AMA Update video and podcast. Today we're talking about the latest on long COVID with Dr. Akiko Iwasaki. Wow. He's Sterling Professor of Immunobiology at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. Dr. Iwasaki has a PhD in immunology. I'm Todd Unger, AMA's Chief Experience Officer in Chicago. Dr. Iwasaki.
Chief Experience Officer. Dude, I'm not a content creator, guys. I'm a Chief Experience Officer. I love that. That's so good. I love it.
Aki, your segments are always so popular. There's so many people looking for information on long COVID. We're so glad you're here to join us today.
Thank you. It's great to be back with you, Todd.
It's actually been a while since we checked in with you, and in that time, our understanding of long COVID has changed a lot. We're starting to see that it goes far beyond symptoms like chronic fatigue, brain fog, things like that. It can impact many areas of the body. What does that mean for how we think about and define long COVID today?
We now understand that long COVID is likely not a single disease, but rather an umbrella term that encompasses multiple distinct endotypes that's triggered by acute SARS-CoV-2 infection. So studies have identified.
It's big, guys. What they're saying is that SARS-CoV-2 is the virus, and just like HIV causes AIDS, SARS-CoV-2 causes COVID. So it's important that you realize that, you know, and what's really interesting is that they're finding that long COVID is also linked to asymptomatic infections. So you cannot have the COVID-19 symptoms and still develop long COVID.
At least 4 potential root causes: persistent viral reservoir in different organs.
So persistent viral reservoirs, what's that? That's where the virus SARS-CoV-2 continually replicates within organs. And guys, I mean, if this doesn't want to get you vaccinated, I don't know what will. But one of the places that SARS-CoV-2 has been found as a reservoir inside of an organ to replicate are the testes. So if that doesn't get you to want to get a vaccine, boys, come on, get that shot, get that vaccine, get it in you. Do it for the boys. You know what I mean? Do it for the boys. Let's go. Yeah, Daphne, exactly. It does. But I think the viral reservoir is the big point. So What this is that you can have within your testes, you can have your testes harboring SARS-CoV-2 and continually reproducing the virus.
Autoimmune reactions triggered by the infection, tissue damage and dysfunction.
Crisscross. All right, guys, crisscross. Let's go. Crisscross. We just do every single shot, every single time here, guys. 3, 2, 1, 348. Thank you, crisscross. Thank you for that's someone getting their COVID and their booster, their flu booster. I had long COVID for 9 months. B, we see you, we recognize you here. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that happened to you. Okay, nice. Hey, Sophie, get your vaccine. Come in here. Get your booster for your COVID. Get your flu at the same time. And then also, if you do not have your vaccine card, guys, get up to date with all the other stuff. Okay. MMR. Do you have your MMR? If you have not gotten your MMR since you were a kid, you need to again. That the antibodies have been shown to decrease over about 20 years. So if you're 30 years old and you haven't been vaccinated for MMR since you were a kid, you need to look into that again. Okay. Measles, mumps, rubella, and that's the big thing is measles. So measles is on the rise in the United States right now, and you need to get a booster for your measles. Okay. So it's safe to get again, but yes, it is. But if you are younger, then you don't have to worry about it. If you already had it and you're not over 30, I wouldn't worry about it. Clever Fox. The studies are showing that it's about after 20 years, it starts to die down. The antibodies start to die down. So it's worth just getting, just in case. Exactly, Maiden. One of the side effects of measles is that you lose all your memory bank for your immune system. So, and it does kill people, yes. And it kills babies and it kills old people at higher rates too. Why naughty? You should. Yeah, you should. Oh my God, that's a good question, but it's only like $100. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but it's a lot more in order to get it. Vaccines are cheap. Yeah, Wendy. So exactly. So measles attacks your T cells and your B cells, so that you get immune amnesia, guys. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sophie. I appreciate you. I know, XD. It's crazy. Tori, you can get them all at once. It's honestly better just to get them all at once. You're gonna feel like you have the flu. You're gonna feel like you have a little bit of COVID, but you know what? Just get it done with, and that's not a side effect, guys. When you feel like you have the flu after getting a flu shot, that is not an adverse side effect. All right, that's it actually working. That's your body having that immune reaction to the antigens that your body's producing. So it's actually okay. Look at that. We got AOC in the chat. It's incredible. Yes, Millie. This is a really important point. Millie's talking about that even people with immune compromised systems, a lot of them still get vaccines, guys. So they still get vaccines because they can't handle a full infection. So a vaccine is actually better for them. COVID too. Get your COVID vaccine. Get your COVID and get your flu vaccine every year as a booster. And if you don't have your vaccine card, get one and start filling it in for other stuff. So MMR is a good place to start. I'd put it in there. Sibi, maybe not on stream, but maybe short stories. Yeah. Shingles is a good idea if you're of age. The United States is putting them for people that are over a certain age. Wendy, if you haven't had it in 30 years and you haven't had it since you were a kid, I definitely would. I would think about it since you're 50 and it wanes after 20 years. My mom just got the COVID shots and MMR and got her sick for 2 weeks. Carl, yeah. You know, imagine if she got a real COVID infection. She might have actually gotten a COVID infection during the same time. You know, during your visit to CVS, during your visit to the pharmacy, make sure you're masking, guys. Like, because you want to wear a mask where people are sick. So if you're going to the doctor's office, wear a mask, guys. If you're going to a pharmacy, wear a mask. That's where sick people go. So you want to protect yourself so you don't get sick when you go there. And wash your hands and use alcohol.
And reactivation of latent herpes viruses like Epstein-Barr.
It's not being required, Sophie, but it's a good idea still.
Virus. So these diverse mechanisms help explain the heterogeneity we see in long COVID presentations. Some patients may primarily have a neurocognitive issue, while others might experience cardiovascular or gastrointestinal issues. Additionally, we found evidence for hormonal changes, such as lower levels of cortisol, and also sex hormone differences, such as lower levels of testosterone in females.
Oh, wow.
So the complexity poses challenge for diagnosis.
Testosterone changes. That's crazy. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, AOC. What's up, Hell? How's it going?
And treatment. And we're working to develop better biomarkers that can classify patients into different endotypes.
Ruben, welcome in, dude.
So that we can diagnose.
Ruben, this is Akiko Iwasaki. She's a professor of immunobiology at Yale, and she's the premier long COVID researcher in the world. And she's having a presentation right now for the American Medical Association on YouTube. It's released 5 months ago, so it's very recent. And so we're learning about long COVID right now.
And treat patients better.
Wow, with so many different kind of.
Yeah, she is the top long COVID researcher in the world. Yeah, she has a PhD in immunology. Let me see. Let's see. Iwasaki Wiki. Yeah, degree in immunology from Toronto in '98, and then she did her postdoc. Oh, as a fellow at the NIH. Wow. And then wow, that's crazy. So 98 earned her degree, postdoc until 2000. In 2000, she started her own lab at Yale. That's wild. That is wild to go from just graduating, getting her PhD in 98, and then starting her own lab at Yale in 2000, guys. That is unbelievable, actually. So that is incredible. That is very hard to do. She's wicked smart. She's wicked smart. That's guys, that does not happen anymore. That's a good question, Justin. I don't know. Here we go. Let's learn about her. She's awesome.
Pathways that you.
She's one of the labs that is worth studying and following.
Talked about right there, and symptoms. It's really complicated for someone to get help and get treated for long COVID. Is that right?
That is correct. And it's possible that.
I mean, it's probably funded by the NIH, which is where a lot of the funding comes from.
Is that right?
That is correct. And it's possible that some people might not even realize they have long COVID. There are several reasons for this. First, the wide range of symptoms makes it difficult to pinpoint the cause to long COVID. Second, the symptoms may be associated or assigned to other conditions, such as normal course of aging or attributed to pre-existing health conditions. There's also the lack of awareness about long COVID.
True.
Over a third of Americans have not heard of long COVID. And finally,
I'm surprised that 2/3 of people have. That's crazy. that's wild, actually, to me. I'm not surprised that it can manifest in so many different ways.
The fluctuating symptoms, because the symptoms come and go and vary in intensity over time, making it difficult for individuals to realize that this is related to long COVID.
On a prior AMA update with Andrea Garcia in our Health and Science unit here at the AMA, I believe she said that up to 8% of people had experienced long COVID at some point.
8%'s low.
That's almost 1 in 10. That's a lot of people, isn't it?
This is a lot of people. And those are the ones that...
That's actually kind of low. I guess, what is the, Maiden, what do you think? What was the asymptomatic, like based off of epidemiology? I think it was like, yes, TJ, everyone should get a flu and COVID booster. And I would think about also getting an MMR booster if you haven't had it since you were a kid. Maiden, I'd heard like the epidemiology data was like 80% of the United States was somehow infected with SARS-CoV-2. So I guess 10% of that would be 1 out of 8 people. So I guess that lines up. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's crazy, because I'd heard about 20% of people get long COVID. So actually those percentages line up. Wow, that's crazy.
Recognize the disease as being long COVID, but there may be others, like I mentioned.
So given what you really just talked about, let's talk about the average physician out there who's seeing someone come in with this kind of variety of potential symptoms about long COVID. How should they approach that assessment? And are there any signs or lesser known symptoms that they should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Due to the lack of diagnostic tools, physicians really have to conduct a comprehensive evaluations and also consider potential, other drivers of disease. But some of the less discussed but fairly common symptoms of long COVID include things like internal tremor. We studied this over 1/3 of long COVID.
John, thank you so much. Thank you so much, John. Got 2 for John, guys. Thank you guys so much. John Gower, thank you so much. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Wait. What? Whoa. No. We were at 38. We were at 48. I meant to do this. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Yes, 350. 350. Thank you, John. Guys, I can't believe we're up at 350. This is such a cool thing. Oh, it's so cool. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's surreal these people are taken seriously anymore. Like, try sniffing these nuts. I don't know which way you're coming from, bud, but I don't know. Just me, Stacy. We celebrate people who get vaccinated in this community. So anyone who gets vaccinated, them or their family, we come in, we put it on the tracker, and then we celebrate them by name, because they are protecting themselves, their community, the people around them. And we love that. We love public health here. We celebrate public health and we fight for public health. Definitely, Tori. Yeah, you definitely want to get your flu vax. Yeah. You want to get your yeah. What if I am? What if I am? So guys, it's worth it. Well, these nuts, it's actually important for you to get vaccinated so you can protect your nuts, because guess what? SARS-CoV-2 could infect them. So it's actually very, very important. I really doubt that at 9669. I really doubt that. All right, here we go, guys. We're going back to it.
But some of the less discussed but fairly common symptoms of long COVID include things like internal tremor. We studied this. Over 1/3 of long COVID patients report experiencing internal vibration or tremor.
No, Christy, it can be anyone. So long COVID can infect anyone, even still. Absolutely, right now too. Thank you, Paige. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, John Gower, Sophie, Daphne, Jen, Tio, Sleep, Jen, Neek, Kaz, Brian F. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Lori, I mean, long COVID. If they want to stay healthy and they want to not have long COVID, I mean, send them this video. That's the thing. So, yeah, it happens. I mean, I had someone come in. It's hard to say, Crystal. It can be manifest in so many different ways. But I had someone that their adult teenagers were healthy, and then basically her son has. Yeah, I stream everything on YouTube as well. It's archived on YouTube. Her adult sons came in and well, basically he has permanent vertigo. He has hearing loss now. His partner never got their sense of taste back. So yeah, it's awful.
Tremor sense of long COVID patients report experiencing internal vibration or tremor sensations
this video is a good one
that without visible external signs.
Wow.
Second, there's this postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS, that many patients have, where physicians may not necessarily associate with long COVID. There's post-exertional malaise and hormonal dysregulation and sleep disturbance. These are all common manifestations of long COVID that are not very well discussed, and many physicians may not be aware of this.
Wow, that internal tremor thing is just absolutely awful. That is so scary. The idea that you can have a tremor that is constantly going, and then sleep disruption is such a big thing. That's oh man.
Do people then generally get treated for those particular symptoms at this point?
Yes, if the doctors can recognize these symptoms, and if there are any sort of treatments available, they are treated for the different symptoms, but they may not be linking it necessarily to long COVID.
When we last talked last year, we discussed that studies have shown that vaccination can reduce the risk of long COVID. Is that still the case, particularly for those who haven't gotten, say, the most up-to-date vaccine and might be catching COVID for a second or even third time?
That seems to be correct, that the risk of long COVID appears to increase cumulatively with each infection. Since vaccination has been shown to reduce the risk of developing long COVID to some extent, it is important that people get vaccinated to boost their immune response against the virus.
Boom. You guys get vaccinated. Exactly. Yes, Maiden, you're exactly the cumulative risk of it. Absolutely, it happens.
In terms of people who already have long COVID, we did a small study, a longitudinal study involving 16 people with long COVID, who showed that vaccination improved health status in 10 of these individuals, while 3 had no changes and 3 others had worse outcomes. Oh, wow. So what we need to have is a bigger study to see whether we can predict the health outcomes of vaccination to improve their symptoms and prevent reinfections.
So basically, besides getting vaccinated, which hopefully would prevent getting COVID in the first place, and as you point out, the cumulative impact of multiple infections, is there anything else that people can do to reduce the risk of developing long COVID?
Yeah, well, the best way to avoid getting long COVID.
Yeah, bro, you're going to start talking about thinning people out. You can just get blocked, bro. You're so cringe, man. Probably like 13 years old. Yeah, Chip, I mean, literally the fear are you guys, man. That's the thing, is that, you know, I've gotten vaccinated my entire life. Like, I've constantly gotten shots. So the idea that the fear mongering is coming from the anti-vaccine crowd with no substantial evidence whatsoever. I think the fear was having COVID and the vaccine increased spike protein. Is that correct? No. So basically the vaccine is going to be nucleotides that express the spike protein inside your body, and then your body recognizes that and then gets the antibodies based off of that. So, but there's no way that the spike protein from the vaccine is going to replicate in your body. With SARS-CoV-2 infection, that virus can replicate inside your body and continually make spike proteins. So if you're worried about spike proteins within, for the SARS-CoV-2 and that causing, complications, then you definitely want to get the vaccine. Oh wow, Nurse Lens. Wow, chronically ill 4 months after getting COVID for the first time. Ness, yeah, you still boosting COVID and flu every year. I don't think that there's a new Moderna spike. It's just that they're updating the sequence to match the one, COVID that's in there and propagating in our population. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, exactly, Nurse Lentz. There's no specific test for long COVID, so it's very tough. Sophie, I honestly just go between like Moderna and Pfizer. I just go back and forth. I don't think that there's a better brand. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, I mean the haters are what they are. Ruben, I don't know. It's like covariance.org or something. Or next strain. You can look at nextstrain.org. Yeah, I'm saying long COVID. LONG COVID. Yeah, long COVID. That's what she's saying too. So this is like the dominant one. So I think we're on XFG. So we can actually look here. So we can go in just by the United States. We can look at global, North America. Yeah. Boom. You can actually see to the peoples that this is actually the way that we know the strains that are by sequencing, what's actually happening over time. And then we can actually zoom into here. So this is the nucleotide diversity. So this is sequence nucleotide by nucleotide, where the genetic diversity lies within the population. And then this right here is over time, the sequence. So over time it changes. And so now you can see the XFG is the population, the frequency is 80% in the population. So Tori, I'm looking away at my monitor, which is what the thing is that you're seeing on the screen right here. This is a monitor that we have right here that I'm lurking. So yeah, I read things on this. We read, and I'm a reader. I like to read. Hi R. Yeah, I'm not a physician. I'm a scientist doctor. I'm a microbiology PhD. And I've done like molecular biology and genetics for like 16 years. I would stop looking away and lean into the truth with your heart, Tori Vax. I like to learn and read things. That's okay. You can read things too, and you can learn. It's okay. I just wanted to give you a chance to see this. What are you talking about, Tori Vax? Get vaccinated, and then I'll answer that question. I mean, that's really not a good decision. And then I would definitely, especially since you have an autoimmune disease, you definitely want to get a vaccinated brother. Okay, here we go. Purple person with COVID. No, I don't know what that means. Nice. Ohio guy. Let's go. Ohio guy. Thank you, Ohio guy. You're awesome. Oh yeah, you're one of those light people, Tori. Yeah, it figures. Ohio guy, thank you so much. Hey, thank you guys so much. 352. Let's go. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Ohio guy. Thank you for getting vaccinated. We love people who get vaccinated in this community. We celebrate you. You come in here, you get vaccinated. We celebrate you. We add you to the vaccine ticker. These are our vaccines, guys. These are vaccinations that we have done as a community, and we absolutely love it. I know, Marissa, it's crazy. It's crazy. The long-term health effects are minuscule compared to the actual flu and the long-term impacts of those. So, yeah, what are the long-term impacts of COVID? We're literally watching the thing. I'll answer that question when you answer me the long-term impacts of COVID-19. So, cool. See you smile. Good job. Do you think that gene mutations could be triggering autoimmune disorders? Yeah, sure. Gene mutations in like their genomes. Yeah, that some of them are from that, but the gene mutations aren't coming from vaccines. Well, Tess, if you don't know what long COVID or the long-term implications of COVID-19 are, then you should be worrying more about that than the really small 1 in a million chance of any type of adverse side effect of a vaccine. Oh, here's the NZ girl. Hey guys, NZ girl's here. Great. I'm so happy you're here. Anyway, great guys, great. Womp womp. So happy you're here, NZ girl. Happy you're welcome. We're never gonna ban you. You're the martyr. You're so brave. Oh, cool chicks in the city. Cool. Nice. I appreciate you and I love it. Thank you, Invents. Thank you. Missy Martin, you should still get vaccinated even if you've never gotten COVID-19. I don't know, Deb. They come in packs. I think so. They evolve together. Jesse, vaccines are especially important for newborns because they do not have functioning immune systems yet. So you can't delay vaccines when they are the most vulnerable. And Hep B is especially important because it's a chronic infection for 90% of the cases for newborns that get it. And they get it from mom to baby during the pregnancy. So it's critically important that they get vaccinated. NZ girl, I didn't even read what your question was. I don't even know what you're talking about. You just spam stuff, random things. No tests. No, that you don't get. No. Hep. Okay. Hep B is a sexually transmitted disease. Tess, I don't know how you know how babies work. So babies don't come from storks. Okay. So babies come from the same place where mommy has time with daddy. Okay. And that is the same place. And that's how it goes from mommy to baby because she's in mommy's bits. And that's how babies get things that are in mommy's bits on them. And then that's how it hurts baby. So that's why you want to get vaccinated. So, hey, what's up, Elfax? What's up, brother? Guys, Elfax, friends of the stream. Guys, Elfax, I've met Elfax in World of Warcraft in the Yeti Cave. This is true. The Yeti Cave and playing my gnome and doing the quest there. And we have been friends ever since. This is actually true. This is really true. If the mom doesn't have beer, any other... What? Yes, Jesse, yes. Because you don't know. So basically, a lot of the... Jesse R, if this is a legitimate question, I think it is. So basically, what happens is that mothers that forego prenatal care, which are a lot of the naturopath like crunchy, people, right? That are like the Maha people. They're not going to OBGYNs constantly. They're not doing their prenatal screens. So what's going to happen is that they forego that kind of stuff so that they don't know if they have Hep B or not. And guess what? So no prenatal screens. They go in, they don't have the proper pre-work done. And then what happens is they go into the hospital. The hospital's like, you never got any of your pre-work done. They're like, no, we'll test you right now, but it creates a window or a 1 to 2 day window where the baby might come during that time. And it creates this thing where the baby is actually exposed to something that could be a lifelong chronic condition for them, versus just having a Hep B vaccine, which is completely safe and completely protects them. So it's a huge way to actually help them. Like, is because people don't, folate and folic acid is pushed into bread. So, we have some folate, but yeah, you want to have prenatal care, which is the whole point. That's the whole point. You're not regularly getting screened for STDs unless, maybe you are, Light, but most of us aren't constantly getting screened for Hep B, but you would, if you're pregnant. So yeah, Joe Vita, that's dangerous and completely wrong. Yeah, Jesse R, no problem, man. I got you. Why are babies that have not been vaccinated healthier than those that have? They are, NZ girl, because they're alive. 4 million babies are alive every year because of vaccines. That's just the fact. Okay. 1 million adults are saved every year from vaccines. 4 million babies are saved. So again, this is just more anti-vax nonsense coming from people that don't have any idea what they're talking about. I know. I'm more of an Australian girl myself, so I don't know. That's just me though. Jesse, I don't know. Autism linked with hormone blockers. All the genome-wide association studies, which is from sequencing, has established that autism has a genetic component, so it's some type of genome heredity based. Yeah. That's it. What's prenatal care for? Constant screening of nutrient imbalance? No. Again, like Hep B infection isn't going to be a nutrition imbalance. It's going to be an infection of a virus. But Light is Life, you don't agree that viruses are real, so that's kind of the problem. Night Flyer, what's up? How's it going? How did I not get COVID and have not been vaxxed? Again, NZ girl, you don't understand what COVID is. So you could have had SARS-CoV-2, an infection that didn't develop into COVID-19, and you could have been, SARS-CoV-2 positive. So you could have spread it without it. Again, it's just a misunderstanding of actually what's happening. Unless you tested yourself every 2 days for the last 5 years, you don't know if you've been SARS-CoV-2 positive or not. Auntie D, that's completely incorrect and bad disinformation, and you should feel bad. We're all less intelligent because of what you said. A Night Flyer every day. This is what I do. Thank you. Rapture, welcome in. Rapture, friend of the stream. Welcome in. Good evening. Yeah. Hey guys, we're actually watching a really cool video. I know you guys really want to talk and ask the same 5 questions that I've answered 10 times every day, and all these anti-vaxxers are like, oh, I bet he won't know why I didn't get COVID, and I'm still here. I'm still. It's like, guys, like NZ girls, she's here. I see her stats. She watches like 3 hours a night. So I don't understand. Like, I've literally answered that question probably 50 times with her in chat, but she just keeps saying the same thing. So, doesn't make any much sense. I'm lying, and I'm not getting paid to lie. Oh yeah, and I am. Well, NZ girl, you know who pays me. You've watched me long enough that you know who pays me. Linda, no, we don't people that are just being no, we don't people that aren't being toxic. Like we don't mute or block people for different opinions here. So that's the thing. Like it's okay that they're here. They're not spamming. And they're not spamming the same thing. They're not typing in all caps. They're not being disruptive. They're just, yeah, I know, Ducray. I know, but I genuinely do think that it is important for people to be in here with different ideas, because they have to be in here, and I'm happy that they're watching me versus whatever YouTube dribble that they normally watch, right? That some anti-vax documentary that's just going to radicalize them more. They're actually getting some information here that could help them. So, and we have to, guys, and I do believe this, we have to be compassionate to these people, and we're trying to welcome them back into society and welcome them back into science, because it's very important that they understand that we're trying to help them up. We're not trying to push them down, right? Like we are using we're trying to help them recover, become more healthy, become more scientific, and that's a big thing for me. So that's why we lead with compassion and love. I genuinely do believe that. Like anti-vax lives matter, genuinely, and a lot of people, a lot of anti-vaxxers, it's tied to the most thing right now is tied to political party more than anything. Like Republicans and Democrats tie more down to anti-vax views than education, than income, to background, to location, all that kind of stuff. So, genuinely, I do really believe this, that Republican lives do matter, even if they don't care about them themselves and they want to not be vaccinated and create conspiracies on why 300,000 people died because of vaccine hesitancy during the pandemic. So we have to help them up, guys. Genuinely, I genuinely do believe that. Thank you. Oh, thank you, guys. Wow, thank you, Susie. How's it going? Thanks for coming in, Susie. Thank you, Hot Lips. I appreciate you. Lotus, that doesn't. I mean, I do think that to be a good parent, you do have to vaccinate people, your kids. I do think that. Night Flyer. You know what though, Night Flyer? We have had lots of people that got vaccinated because of the stream now. It's true. Like there is people that have watched the stream and thought, wow, maybe I should get my COVID booster, and they have gotten it. So it does happen. Yeah, Susie's son watched the show and liked it so much that he was so proud that he wanted to get vaccinated. They weren't even trying to get something going. They went to the store for some random thing, and then he wanted to get vaccinated. Okay, yeah. Again, NZ girl, I'm more of an Australian girl myself, so it is what it is. Okay, guys, let's try to finish this, and then we'll. I promise you guys, I will.
It is
infections. Is there anything else that people can do? The cumulative impact of multiple infections. Is there anything else that people can do to reduce the risk of developing long COVID?
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, well, the best way to avoid getting long COVID is to avoid infection. So wearing masks indoors and increasing the ventilation in crowded spaces is...
Guys, we should everywhere. We should all be increasing the ventilation in wherever we are with any type of HEPA filtering, anything like that. We should definitely be pushing for better ventilation inside indoor places.
Still very important. However, it is not possible to completely avoid getting infected, even if we are careful. So when you get infected, reducing the replication of the virus by taking antivirals like Paxlovid might help mitigate long COVID. For the immunocompromised people pre-exposure prophylaxis with PEMGARDA can help reduce the acute severe symptomatic infections. This may also prevent long COVID, but this has not been tested yet.
Oh wow, Kat. Well, you're good. I know they might not see it, but it is important.
Right. Well, thank you. Back in August, you published an article in Nature that touched on many of these topics, and in it, you also outlined some existing drugs that could potentially be repurposed to treat long COVID. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So depending on the root causes of long COVID, we could be and we should be doing randomized clinical trials to existing drugs to see if that helps. For example, if the cause is persistent virus replication, antivirals and neutralizing monoclonal antibodies against SARS-CoV-2 should be tried because it should help. If it is the latent herpes virus reactivation, we should be trialing antivirals like valacyclovir. With Dr. David Petrino, we have an ongoing RCT to trial antivirals like Truvada and Maraviroc for long COVID.
See, guys, this is the thing. Like, eventually, I don't block them; they block me. You know what I mean? I love that, so I don't even have to. I'm sorry, NZ girl, don't go. Don't go, NZ girl. No. No, NZ girl, no. Oh, man.
And to target the chronic inflammation, we should be testing things like immunomodulators, JAK inhibitors, and checkpoint inhibitors. And to target the autoimmunity, we should be targeting things like FcRn inhibitors.
Guys, be real. I'm going to be 100% with you. This is why science will win. I'm 100% seriously about this is why science will win every single time, because this isn't a chat to me. Okay? I am not a streamer. I am a scientist, and other scientists have dedicated our lives to this. So these anti-vaxxers that have this political viewpoint that they're trying to pull out of their butts in order to try to sound smarter than everyone when they don't know anything, and they're just trying to harm people, and they're trying to be contrarian so that they have fun little debate tactics. You're never going to outlast someone that actually dedicates their life to this. And you can scurry off to whatever Discord, accepts you, but you can always come back, NZ girl, if you ever want like an actual scientist opinions or whatever that you feel like you want an answer to, you can always come back. But wait, what, really? Oh, that's so funny. Oh man, Nightflyer, that's good.
To reduce circulating antibodies or B-cell depletion therapies. But as you can see, these interventions must be targeted to the particular root cause of disease.
Thank you, Stretch.
Otherwise, will not be effective.
All right. And in that same article, you also mentioned that some ways we need to rethink how we're approaching clinical trials for long COVID, given what you've talked about, which is this multifaceted, complex condition that we're looking at. What kind of changes do you think we need?
Guys, it is patriotic to get vaccinated. It is patriotic to fight for the lives of your fellow Americans so that they aren't harmed by viruses. It's patriotic to defend public health. It is patriotic in order to make sure that people understand and are fighting disinformation that's spewed on the internet. So the idea that denying 1.2 million people that those our fellow countrymen died, that is anti-American. That is anti-American to willfully push disinformation that will get people harmed. You cannot be a patriot and also anti-vax. Okay? Just like how you cannot be a good parent and be anti-vax. These things do not go together. pro-life is pro-vaccine. That's how it works. We're actually looking at someone. This is the premier long COVID person in the world, Kudzu. So this is Iwasaki, Akiko Iwasaki, and she's the premier long COVID researcher in the world, the top in the world. And we are listening to her right now.
To make.
Yeah, there are a few things that we can be thinking about for better success of clinical trial for long COVID. So the first thing is the heterogeneity of disease, and having a validated biomarker going in to subclass the endotypes that I talked about would greatly simplify the drug development and make it attractive to the biotech and pharmaceutical industry to collaborate and do a larger study. Another thing we need to work on is how best to define the inclusion criteria for any given medication. And accurate and standardized clinical endpoints for long COVID is also important. Improve patient-reported outcomes specific to long COVID that takes into account the cyclical nature of the many of the disease manifestations are also needed to assess the true success of therapeutics.
Dr. Iwasaki, this research that you're doing was so vital, and thank you for everything you're doing to help us better understand long COVID. We appreciate you joining us today. If you found this discussion valuable,
thank you guys for watching. Incredible. Iwasaki is incredible. How are the monoclonal antibodies are so expensive, Kentucky girl. You just want to get a vaccine. Vaccines are your body producing those monoclonal antibodies, basically. So you just like Iwasaki said, you just get a vaccine if you actually are interested in that. As always, guys, I put this in the show notes if you're interested in getting the stuff that we actually talk about and the studies that we talk about. That is the best way to do it. All right, real quick, call me Bob. 1 second before we do this. All right. Oh no. All right, guys. I'm going up. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Thank you. Hello down there. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the top superfan. Thank you guys for superfans is the #1 way that you can support the show. Thank you to all our superfans, and thank you to our last superfan, Casey. We appreciate you. Thank you to the top gifters, Cindy Rose, Ducray, Ado, Stars, Maiden of Mayhem, Helen, Sophie, Ohio Guy, Jared. Thank you so much. And thank you for 1 like, 1,000 likes, or 15,000 likes like Cindy Rose, like Darcher Man, Ado, Christine, Ducray, Stars, Rapture, Jen, Helen. Thank you guys so much. We do $5 super chats if you want to participate in the show that way. I will read your study. I will read your study. I will read your question, and we will talk about it. Also, my Linktree has my YouTube, guys. My YouTube has best of videos along with all of the archives of all of the shows that we've done. So you can check that out. And also, guys, if you have YouTube music, we are now in podcast form. So you can listen to that in that way if you want. All right, now back to the show. Jessica, it could have been a lot of different reasons. It might have been something like you got a COVID infection while you were getting the vaccine, something like that. You know, there's neurodegenerative aspects of COVID-19 that we were just learning about. So, you know, it could be that as well. Call me Bob. How's it going?
Well, we're just fantastic.
Nice.
The autism community to which I belong has been having a lot of fun making jokes about which kind of Tylenol gave us which kind of autism.
Oh, exciting.
So I think we've decided that Tylenol PM, if your mother took Tylenol PM, it just makes you autistic at night.
Oh, exciting.
And if your mother had Tylenol suppositories, that just makes you the kind of autistic who's an asshole all the time. These are autistic people. We're saying this about ourselves. So please no one take offense to this. We're just totally having fun with this because it's so stupid and appalling.
Yeah,
And
for real.
at a certain point, like, things are so appalling that you just have to laugh.
Yeah, I think it's
There's
ridiculous.
what are you gonna do?
I know. It's
So
so frustrating. Yeah,
it's just we ended up in bizarro world, Greg. I don't know.
I know.
It's just
It's it doesn't make any sense. But I'm happy for the scientists that were at least studying, you know, the side effects or any potential of these things, so that we know it isn't linked to it. You know what I mean? So that we are actually doing the studies, and good studies do exist already. And this is the reason why we can just call RFK out, who is just talking about feelings, and he has nothing to back himself up, right? He has nothing to talk about or add to the conversation other than just his opinions. And I think that that's the big takeaway.
yeah. I mean, I really hope people are start to recognize that RFK Jr. just really has nothing valuable to say at all. Like, he only, like, the best thing the man could do is just shut up. Please just shut up. Please stop talking, because this is just, good God.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, theoretically, I do think that there could possibly be a way that, you know, a non-physician or a non-scientist could be heading the HHS, but they would have to be, you know, like talking and referencing studies and scientists, and they're not, you know, they're just, he's just saying this is what we feel like and this is what it is, versus like, you know, actual scientists and actual expertise that does exist, guys.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we've been joking about today, and I thought I'd share that.
That is funny. Yeah, and that's a really good point. That, like, the bigger point that you're talking about is, why are they going after Tylenol, the name brand that's just pure acetaminophen, and not all the different drugs that have acetaminophen in it? So it's just, it doesn't make much sense.
Right? And what does Tylenol 4 do?
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for calling me, Bob. Thank you for, it's always a fun time. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Elfax, what's up, brother?
Hey, Greg, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Awesome. So I got a question for you, and it's mostly around the money, right? So we know that the sensationalism and trust and identity politics and all of these things definitely play into what is being said about, you know, Tylenol, autism, and everything like that. But do you have any insight into where the money aspect may be coming from at all?
In regards to which part?
Like, so what is the financial incentive of coming out and saying something like against Tylenol for these guys? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what it is that they're trying to link autism to Tylenol in the same way that, like, vaccines and autism are linked, but it's just a correlative thing. I have heard conspiracies that, like, Dr. Oz has like a herbal company that has the same type of symptom that are covered by Tylenol. But I mean, it's just a conspiracy at this point. You know what I mean? It's not like we don't have any definitive proof, so it's hard to say. But I mean, it's a good question. You know, why Tylenol specifically? You know, what is that? And like, people have noted, you know, autism actually was kind of discovered or recognized before Tylenol was even invented. And like I said, they're not going after all the different medications that have Tylenol in it even. So it's just odd. And I mean, what's frustrating for me the most thing is that they're not actually pushing prenatal care at all. They're not increasing the amount of money that's going for pregnant moms to get better care or better screens. None of that. It's just all deflecting blame onto pregnant moms. And I think that's just gross.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. That was my only question. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Sick, man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Say my best to your brother. Peace. Yeah, Rebel. That was really funny. Yeah, exactly. It's because the Epstein files for sure. Guys, I got the notice about us not being on the live anymore, not us not getting pushed. So I don't know. You might have to restart. I appealed, but I don't know what happened. Said I was doing unoriginal content. Maybe the NZ girl, freaking the anti-vaxxers. Yeah, Night Flyer. It's okay, Shelby. Okay, nice. Thank you. Maybe the appeal going through. Honestly, guys, I get like clapped a lot, but I get my appeals go through, which is nice. So I don't know what happens. So cool. Yeah, Embers. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I mean, that's why I pause it, guys, all the time, and like to make sure that I'm, responding, and I make it, and I make it small on purpose just for that. Okay, yeah, it's a good idea, Juliana. I agree. I agree, guys. I agree. Okay, well, Dude, that was a cool video. Really happy that we watched that. Okay. All right. So next up, until we get a Indigo, I've done genetics. I'm a molecular biologist, and how we kind of measure the success of our work is through next generation sequencing. So I've done a lot of genetics, but I don't do population based genetics. So I don't look at populations of genomes and then look at how that process shakes out. But I have done a lot of genetics. Yeah. Okay, so one, it's empty if anyone wants to come on. Also, okay, let's talk about the Spanish flu. So, guys, we're going through and we're trying to learn about the different. True. What does the rise in cases of pulmonary fibrosis look like after COVID? If you don't mind me. Yeah, I mean, that's probably has something to do with COVID. That makes sense, right? That why there was any type of pulmonary disease, because the ACE2, there's so many ACE2 receptors in our lungs, which is why that's why you would have that type of problem. I mean that makes sense to me. Okay. We like to learn. We like to learn here. So oh no. Oh, Kudzu, I'm sorry about that. ACE2 is the receptor that the COVID handle latches onto, basically, and it latches on, and that's how it gets into the cell. The handle. Okay. Oh, interesting, Rebel. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. Until someone joins, we're just going to learn. I like learning. All right, so we are on a mission to learn about, by death toll, the largest epidemics in the world and pandemics in the world. So the number one is the 1918 Spanish influenza pandemic. So we are learning about it right now. So we're learning about the epidemiology and pathology of the Spanish flu. The basic reproduction number of the virus was between a 2 and a 3. I think that's the R naught number. Yeah, it's the R naught. The close quarters and massive troop movements of World War I hastened the pandemic and probably both increased transmission and augmented mutation. The war may have also reduced people's resistance to the virus. Some speculate the soldiers' immune systems were weakened by malnourishment and the stresses of combat and chemical attacks, increasing their susceptibility. Modern transportation systems and increased travel was a significant factor in the worldwide occurrence. Another was lies and denial by governments. What? Leaving the population ill prepared to handle the outbreaks. What, guys? For us? What? How is that possible? I wonder if we could do this. I wonder if we could do this. What? One second. What? Wait, 1 second, guys. I want to see if there can be a text to speech so I don't have to just read it. This. Okay, here we go. Let's see what this is. Let's see if this works.
Spanish flu. For other uses, see Spanish flu disambiguation. Great influenza. Redirects here.
Sorry. Oh, that sucks. I wonder, does anyone know a good text-to-speech thing? It'd probably be better if I just read it, huh? Okay, anyway. Yeah, Vicky, it sounds really interesting. Okay, it's probably better for me just to read anyway. Just to learn. Okay, anyway. Sorry, guys, that was our foray into text-to-speech. The severity of the second wave has been attributed. So that was another thing. There's 3 main waves of the Spanish flu. That's what we found. Oh, what's up, Nico? How's it going, brother? Nice to see you, man. The severity of the second wave would have been attributed to the First World War. In civilian life, natural selection favors a mild strain. Those who get very ill stay home, and those mildly ill continue with their lives, preferentially spreading the mild strain. This is what we're talking about with the asymptomatic spread with SARS-CoV-2, guys. This is exactly what we're talking about. In the trenches, natural selection was reversed. Soldiers with mild strain stayed where they were, while the severely ill were sent on crowded trains to crowded field hospitals, spreading the deadlier virus. Wow. The second wave began. The flu quickly spread around the world again. During modern pandemics, health officials look for deadlier strains of a virus when it reaches places with social upheaval. The fact that most of those who recovered from first wave infections had become immune showed that it must have been the same strain of flu. Wow, that's really interesting. This was the most dramatically illustrated in Copenhagen, which escaped with a combined mortality of 0.29, 0.02 in the first wave and 0.27 in the second wave because of the exposure of the less lethal first wave. Wow. So they got it. Oh, thank you, Embers. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Nate Diggity. Thank you. Yeah, Nico, that's how it started. Exactly. And then because of the waves and the and World War I, there's tons of it. After the lethal second wave, new cases dropped abruptly. In Philadelphia, for example, 4,597 people died in the week ending the 16th of October, but by 11th of November, influenza had almost disappeared from the city. Wow, that's not that long. That's like one or two like infection waves. One explanation for the rapid decline in lethality is the doctors became more effective in the prevention and treatment of pneumonia that developed after the victims contracted the virus. However, John Barry stated in his book 2004, The Great Influenza, the epic story of the deadliest plague in history, that researchers have found no evidence to support this disposition. Interesting. This is the one of the explanation of the rapid decline in lethality is that the doctors became more effective in the prevention and treatment of pneumonia that developed after the victims had contracted the virus. Another theory holds that the 1918 virus mutated extremely rapidly to a less lethal strain. Such evolution of influenza is a common occurrence. There is a tendency for pathogenic viruses to become less lethal with time, as with hosts of more dangerous strains tend to die out. So hosts that die very quickly are less likely to spread. Therefore, there is like some type of need for the virus not to kill their host immediately. Fatal cases did continue into 1919, however. One notable example was that of a ice hockey player, Joe Hall, who died of the flu in April after an outbreak that resulted in the cancellation of the 1919 Stanley Cup Finals. Wow. Signs and symptoms. The majority of the infected experienced only the typical flu symptoms of a sore throat, headache, fever, especially during the first flu. Guys, if you've gotten an actual flu, have you guys say 2 in chat if you've gotten an actual flu infection? You know, it's not just the cold, guys. You know that you're hit with something and you get hit and you are out for like a week and you are like, dude, I can understand that like why people die from this. I hadn't gotten a legit flu in like a really long time, and I got it like 10 years ago, and I was bodied, man. I was just lying on the couch, just like I was out, man. I was completely out. Hey, Voice and Violet. Hey, thank you. Welcome in. Guys, Voice and Violet, great content creator, really fun streams. If you're Su habla español, totalmente content creator. No sé. Su habla español. Great person to follow. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Gracias. Thank you. Oh, what? That's so weird. On my chat, I see thank you, but in the other one, I see gracias. Gracias. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Abe. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Vicky. I was honestly like bodied by the last time I got the flu, and you definitely feel it. However, during the second wave, the disease was much more serious, often complicated by bacterial pneumonia, which was often the cause of death. This more serious type could cause heliotrope cyanosis to develop, whereby the skin would first develop 2 mahogany spots over the cheekbones, which would then, over a few hours, color the entire face blue. What? Followed by black coloration first in the extremities and then limbs and the torso. What? Death would follow within hours or days due to the lungs being filled with fluids. Other signs and symptoms reported, including spontaneous mouth and nosebleeds, miscarriages for pregnant women. Yeah. Peculiar smell. Whoa. Teeth and hair falling out, delirium, dizziness, insomnia, loss of hearing, smell. Yo, what? And vision. Guys, we see that in long COVID right now. Impaired vision, loss of hearing, smell, insomnia. That's what long COVID, Iwasaki was just talking about that. Dizziness, we see that with vertigo, with long COVID. Crazy. One observer wrote, quote, one of the most striking of the complications was the hemorrhage from mucosal membranes, especially from nose, stomach, and intestine, bleeding from the ears, and petechial hemorrhages. Whoa, that's gross. In the skin was occurred. Well, that's what that was. You guys see that little? Oh, that is gross. Guys, this is crazy. This is just the flu. This isn't. I see you. Just give me I'm gonna finish this paragraph. Wow. I know, dude. I know, Sophie. That sounds crazy. Sophia, sorry. Yeah, that sounds so crazy. The majority of deaths were from bacterial pneumonia, a common secondary infection associated with influenza. This pneumonia, so bacterial pneumonia, right? A secondary infection means that they're getting infected with the flu, right? That's taking them over. And then they have a secondary infection. Now they have a bacterial infection that's afterwards. So that's what the second infection is the bacterial one. So remember, viruses and bacteria are two separate things. It's the same reason why antibiotics won't work for bacteria, for flu, right? Because antibiotics is for viruses. Yes, exactly, Stars, exactly. Yes, exactly. Come back and get your, come back for your praise. That'd be awesome. The pneumonia itself caused by common upper respiratory tract bacteria. So the bacteria was already in your respiratory tract, which were able to get into the lungs via the damaged bronchial tubes. The virus also killed people directly by causing massive hemorrhages and edema in the lungs. Modern analysis has shown the virus to be particularly deadly because in animal trials, it triggers an overreaction of the body's immune system, which is a cytokine storm. Exactly. The strong immune reactions of young adults were postulated to have ravaged the body, whereas the weaker immune reactions of the children and middle-aged adults resulted in fewer deaths. So that's how the younger people died, guys. That was, remember that? I had said, why are the younger people dying? And it's because of the cytokine storm. That's awesome. I love that. I love thinking about things, having a question, going into something, and then you figure it out later. It's so much fun. The cytokine storm, not the QAnon storm, the cytokine storm. This is actually real and actually exists. Voice in Velvet.
Hi, sorry.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I got a new room. Look at this.
Let me see. Oh my goodness, it's pink.
I know. Yeah, it's magenta.
I love it.
Magenta.
Oh. Well, I love it.
No, it's okay. I was just joking. It's
cool.
It's from my research actually. It's from my PhD stuff. So this is
cool.
dye on DNA. And then that dye in DNA was bound to the carbon nanotubes. And then this right here is the algae, the chlorophyll autofluorescence. And then this is the two in the center is these two interacting. And then these little white dots right here and right here and right here, those white spots are where they're actually co-localized. And when magenta and cyan come together, it makes white. And that's how you use confocal microscopy in order to actually learn stuff. So, and my wife got it for me for my birthday, an early birthday present.
That's awesome.
I know.
That is so cool. I thought it was literally just art. I was like, that's a lot of art.
I know, it's really cool. Yeah, microscopy can be so cool. I mean, it was like a $1 million microscope, so it's can do some pretty cool things.
But then again, also the human body is a work of art. So pretty much anything that you put, under a microscope is going to look exactly like that. So just beautiful.
Sure. Yeah.
Love it. Hey, doctor, I actually came up here because I have a question. Something that I just heard. Actually, I was listening to the news right before I came up, It's about the new COVID-19 variant. I don't know if
Okay.
the XFG.
Uh-huh.
I just heard about it, and I just wanted to come up here and ask from the expert. I don't know if you, because this is something very new
Yeah.
apparently. I don't know if you know about it, like how is it different? I just had some questions. This might be something too new for you, maybe.
I haven't looked into it specifically. We were just looking into the population genetics of it, and we were just looking at it. So it's interesting to talk about it. So XFG can refer to two very different things: the COVID XFG variant, or blah blah blah. No, this is just Google AI getting mixed up. But let's see.
You're only in 9 different states right now,
Mm-hmm.
so that's
Yeah.
why. Mhm.
Here's the here, I can pull it up. So one of the places that I like to look at, this is like NextStrain. So NextStrain does population genetics of SARS-CoV-2, and it looks at it. So we can pull it up here. So on the right-hand side here, this is like all of the, here, I'll just go away and just give you the whole thing here. Boom, boom.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
How
those
do
are
you?
all the different types. So these are all the genetically distinct different types of COVID. And then we are dealing with the top right here, these ones in the top right here. So if we go to global and then we go down to North America, so this is all the information that we have as scientists in order to like ascertain what's going on. And then if this is basically the entire globe and all the sequences for it. So we can go back down to here. Then we can look state by state, basically, to see kind of like where we're at. So California, let's see they populate here. So this, like, it looks like in California, it actually hasn't taken over the majority, but if we look at here, so that means, yeah, so XFG is like 80% of the frequency within North America. So about 14% is the last variant. So it's pretty dominant right now.
What's the website that you're on right now, or is this something that is just particular to you?
It's nextstrain.org.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like it's a really cool website for looking at the phylogenetics of this whole thing. So that we can go look in the last 1 month data. Oh wow, look at XFG is like really taking over. So that was 6-month data, and then now we can go in for even further. Wow, yeah. So that's the red. The red is the XFG, and now it's way the predominant one. That's incredible. And then wow, so yeah, it still is the same amount here, but this one shows a lot different, right? Because of the updates. But interesting. Very cool. Well, I mean, as cool as it can be. So this is it looks like it's more predominantly on the East Coast right now, and in the population centers. It had not so much in California yet, but it will be probably. Number of infections, I don't think so. I don't know what the N is. I'll have to see where they're getting their data from. I don't know. Yeah, you can check it out. NextStrain, they have the references somewhere. Yeah, XFG.
NextStrain? It's called NextStrain?
Yeah, exactly. Nextstrain.org.
Okay. Yeah.
This variant, it has the similar symptoms to the early Omicron variants, which are generally mild upper respiratory issues. One anecdotal symptom is that it has a hoarse, scratchy voice. I mean, honestly, the big thing that you want to worry about, in my opinion, for now and forever, is long COVID. That is the thing that it's going to be pretty similar, the different variants and stuff like that. But our understanding in how big of long COVID is, that's the big thing that's kind of that's important.
Okay. Well, I didn't know enough about this new variant, and so I thought I would come here and ask you questions because
Yeah.
I thought, you know, if anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be Dr.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah. Long COVID is basically a neurodegenerative disorder that is linked with SARS-CoV-2 infections. And the big thing is that it can be people that don't develop severe long COVID symptoms can still develop long COVID. So it can be persistent viral infections. It can be just a neurodegeneration that happens. We were just watching a video earlier with Iwasaki, who is the best person, probably one of the best researchers in the world studying this. She was talking about how there was like tremors that people have. There's vertigo that people have. They have hearing loss. They have their sense of taste doesn't come back. So it's all really, really serious stuff. I have long COVID for 5 years, was a healthy 35-year-old, now disabled with multiple issues. Skyosaurus, man, I see you, man. I'm so sorry.
You know, when I was while I was working at the nonprofit that I told you about, we got to see a lot of cases of people with long COVID. In fact, myself and some of my family members, we're pretty sure we had it. I mean, we at one point we just didn't test anymore because we knew something just wasn't right, and like the cough just wasn't going away, the symptoms weren't going away. But one of my good friends, Trina, she's an epidemiologist. I think that's how you say it.
Epidemiologist.
Epidemiologist, yeah. And then she was telling me that in some of the cases that she was treating, she works at the naval, like at the Navy station in San Diego. That some of the cases for long COVID, they were just not coming up in the tests.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no test. There's no test for it. We don't know. Because sometimes like there can be reservoirs. Organs can act as reservoirs. So one of them are the testes of men. So if you ever know any guy at the bravado, he's so cool, doesn't want to get, COVID vaccines because he's too cool. Think about that. So can we get help for the neurodegenerative aspects? Kuzu, I think that we are just barely understanding it. So to repair those mechanisms, I don't think so. Not yet, brother. No, sorry. Does the sewer water also get tested in the U.S.? Joe, we used to. We have stopped doing that. So there are some places that still do wastewater treatment, but it's not done like we were doing it during the pandemic. All right. I wish we would. What about the nanotech that was in the injections? So the vaccines had lipid nanoparticle. So basically the phospholipids coated the nucleotides, and that's how it is. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Wastewaterscan.org. Thank you. Thank you, Stars.
Right.
I was hoping Maiden was going to be there. Thank you, Voice. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you. Hey, doctor. Some of my people came down here and they have an urgent message for me. They need me to go and check on a friend really quick. So I appreciate the time. I would love to stay and chat. There were some other things that I wanted to ask, but I need to go.
Okay.
So I will be back.
I hope they're okay. I hope they're okay. And I'll get. You're always welcome on any time.
Thank you. Before I go, I just want to say, to you, thank you always for continuing to spread good information, for helping to fight misinformation, and then also, lastly, thank you to all of the people that are supporting my community and my people, my Latino people, because these are tough times. And the friend that I need to go and check on was in Chicago, and things are bad over there, so just keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Voice in Velvet, guys. She does a really cool Spanish language podcast, guys. So she's a really good creator. So follow her while she's still here before she goes. So thank you for everything. Hope your friend's okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Alrighty, have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. What does a reservoir refer to in this context? So Bailey, it would be a spot in your body that the SARS-CoV-2 virus infects and that your body can't clear. So it just continually invades your immune system, then it invades more tissue, and then constantly evades your immune system. Does the getting the vaccine help you from getting long COVID? Yes, Mary. Yes, you want to get your vaccines in order to help mitigate long COVID. That does help. So guys, you want to get vaccinated for COVID. You want to get your flu shot. You want to get, and if you haven't had it since you were a little kid, you don't have your vaccine card even, get an MMR booster shot. Okay, get your stuff up to date on that. You want to get up to date on all the vaccines that you can right now. Okay, Kudzu, thank you for, yeah, interesting. Oh, I hear you, Sky. Thank you. Man, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. And yeah, man, I see you. I see you, brother. Why is long COVID so hard to test for? Because you could have, like, men, for example, could have a latent infection of SARS-CoV-2 in your testes, and you might not be, you might not be testing, your antibody response might not be strong enough in order to, spike it into your cheek cells, or it might not be, the virus might not be there. It's really tough. Your cheek cells aren't going to necessarily have the virus if it's constantly as a reservoir inside your testes, for example. Jay Shellman, hey, what's up, man? Thanks, Bailey. So vaccines and N95 is a great recipe for avoiding COVID infection. Absolutely, Embers. Absolutely. It is. In crowded spaces where people are sick, you should be masking. You should be. When you go in to get your COVID booster and your flu shot and your MMR booster, if you haven't had it since you were a little kid, you wear a mask, guys. Wear a mask where other people are going and other people are sick. It just makes sense. You don't need to. There's no mask mandate, but it doesn't matter. You're going into a doctor's office, wear a mask. It really is really easy. Oh, Vicky, I'm so sorry about that. Nice, Mary. Yeah, Mary. Hey, when you get your COVID vaccine and your flu booster, come in and we'll celebrate you here. Okay. Okay. Good. Vicky. Good. Exactly, Exactly. How would you get your testes? Like, how would they have to biopsy them? You know what I mean? It doesn't work. Yeah, Andrea. Hey, if you want to mask and you need to mask, then mask. It's totally okay. It's totally okay. Oh, interesting, Kudzu. Oh, no. No, Night Flyer. No, unfortunately not, man. You actually wane after about 10 months. So you do need to get the latest COVID booster. Absolutely. Okay. Hey, Embers, that's good. That's good. The Tdap is very good, and it's good to get another booster. But if you haven't had it, the MMR is worth it too. Our research is in the US funded by pharmaceutical companies. They aren't here in Scandinavia. No, they're not Swedish. So again, you're conflating two different things. So researchers in the US are in academia. So they're in universities, and they're like people like me that did research on an immunotoxin that could actually help kill cancers. And we did algae that could kill cancer. We're not funded by any type of pharmaceutical company. So it's just a lot of disinformation that people push, that all the science that's related to medicine is somehow funded by pharmaceutical companies, and that just isn't true. Vicky, let's go. Good job, Vicky. Good job. Please, if you're going to use an N95, use one without an exhalation valve. Yeah, there's no exhalation valves are not approved, guys. You never should use an exhalation valve on anything. I just got over COVID. Should I still get a booster? I think it's like 3 months that they recommend you wait. Do you have a positive test, Rebel? Like an actual SARS-CoV-2 positive test? What's the best mask to wear to avoid? 3 months. Yeah, Rebel. I would focus on your flu. focus on your MMR right now. Oh, nice, Darcher, man. Yeah. So I like personally like the KF94 masks. Guys, it's like whatever, like whatever helps your body, works with your body. Try a couple of them. Find out which fits your body best. Like don't don't feel like have it be a fun thing. You know what I mean? Like these KF94s, actually, I like them better. They're like a little bit more, 78 cents a count. They're cheaper than like N95s. Oh, BCO, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry. Thank you for saying something though, and if you need to, Gregory. These are kind of nice. I feel like they're a little bit cheaper than N95s. They're still going to be, yeah. All these N95s are all okay. Some of these KN95s are cheap. Okay. Yeah, I mean, whatever fits your face best, guys. You know what I mean? Like whatever fits your face. The Aurora is a really popular one. This is a really, really popular one. If you need, you don't like the ear loops. Okay, this is just Amazon. If you don't like the ear loops and you need something that's going to go around the back of your head, the Aurora is like the one that people rave about. This is like the best. $1.14 per mask. These are amazing. These are if you find ear loops uncomfortable and you don't want to do that, Aurora is definitely the one to go to. I like the KF94s. Yeah, these are good too. I don't like these beak ones. I don't like these personally. I don't know. I just don't like them, but that's just me. My KF94, I feel like in like spreading it, I'm not breathing into my eyes as much, but that's just me, guys. Whatever, is good for you, That's the thing. Are these washable or reusable? I would wear them like once a day. Once a day, and then they're not going to be the ones with respirators and like an actual let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I would not do that, man. I would just maybe like once every other day or once every 2 days. Oh, nice, Embers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can get a respirator. It's just, man, that is harder. I would just want to throw it away, guys, if you got it. Yeah. Yeah, they're not washable. No. Yeah, if you wanted some like cool design, you just wear it over this one. The cloth mask with the design, you just wear it over this one. This is kind of like your go-to. And the kids loved it too. Kids loved wearing their masks, like their Spider-Man or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can also flip the ear loop. You can flip it so it has like a cross pattern. So it's not just like here going around here. It goes down like as an X, and that's good. And then also make sure to seal them and then push them around. And then also you have to trim your facial hair too. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, stars. It's tough. It's tough, guys. Military surplus gas mask, and they're not going to be N95. That's the problem, Rocket. Those are good for like wood cutting and stuff, but I don't think that those gas masks are good for. A lot of them are for like chemical stuff, not necessarily for viral particulates, which is what the 95 stands for. They're N95, as in they put in CBR. Yeah, that's not. You're not gonna. Again, guys, you're not gonna be doing this. You're not gonna be doing this stuff. You're not gonna be doing that. What was the other NIOA? Yeah, guys. I mean, I have this for like woodworking because I have a dust allergy. So I got one of these for like dust. But I don't. Would this be good for Darcher? Would this be good for N95s? I mean, I wear this for around the house if I'm like cleaning or something. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wear it for like woodworking and because I have a dust allergy, so I don't want to. I need to like protect myself from that stuff. So I do wear something like this, but not for protecting myself from COVID. Yeah, Heather, that's so true. The KN95 for air quality, any type of air quality, it's a good idea, guys. Any type of air quality. So wildfires, all that kind of stuff. Protect yourself. Protect your lungs. Oh, there it is. That's what it says. Organic vapor cartridge with P1000. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Darcher, man. I appreciate your expertise, man. Yeah. I got vasomotor rhinitis, so I need it's just like a dust allergy that I developed later in life. Okay, BCO. I mean, people can be wrong with MDs and PhDs can be wrong, but the vaccine is safe and effective for all ages and you should get it. And it protects you from long COVID. So even if you don't think that COVID-19 is dangerous for people in your age group, people with long COVID, it impacts everyone. So absolutely get it. Absolutely get it. BCO, you should be getting your COVID vaccine. You should be getting your flu shot, and you should be getting your MMR booster if you haven't had it in 20 or 30 years. That's what we do. That's what we do. Good. Yeah. You don't need permission. They can be the thing, honestly, why Nice, Marcy. When did you get that? When did you get it? When did you get the pneumonia and the COVID and flu? Because if it's in this week, we count it and you go on the board. Nice, Kazu. Nice. Oh, okay. Nice, Marcy. Well, you're due for another one, okay? So every year, you remember, get your booster of flu and COVID. That's true, Heather. It's well known. It's actually well known. Look what I can do now, guys. Look what I can do. It just sticks onto my head. Can't explain that. You can't explain that. It just sticks right onto my head. Look at that. Look at that. It's true. It's so true. Immunoglobulin. I mean, how do you mean? Do you mean like how the antibody wanes over time? Good, BCO. Good. Good. Nice, Marcy. Make sure you get one. I know. I agree, Marcy. All right, guys. We are learning about the biggest. While we have open queues, we've gone through all of the anti-vaxxers in TikTok, guys. We've successfully beaten them down to they don't even come anymore. So we're running out of them fast, guys. But together, I vaccinated them all. I know, Vicky. I know. I tried, guys. I tried. I know they're all vaccinated and they all have herd immunity now. I don't know, Light. I don't know what I used to get 5 people a night all the time, all day, but they all got scared. They're all scared now. All right, misdiagnoses. So we're learning about the deadliest pandemics in the world. Okay, so this one's the Spanish flu, killed 17 to 100 million people. GP told me last week I didn't need to get the COVID booster shot. Been a year. Why would he say that? So he's listening to practices. Basically, there's a strain of MDs that think that just because people in their 18 to 30s, they don't die readily from COVID right now, so they don't need to get the COVID vaccine, which is wrong, because the actual, you might not be dying from COVID at great numbers like we were, seeing in during the pandemic, but what we are seeing is long COVID. Absolutely, and we've seen it everywhere. So you want to get vaccinated in order to prevent yourself from COVID-19. You want to do it to protect others. You see someone that's immune compromised, you just need to look out for one another. You should honestly really be thinking about, why would a physician recommend me not to get a vaccine for a virus that's in a current pandemic? You should really be thinking about that. That is just, it's insane to me that anyone would. So that's a huge red flag. Exactly, Vicky. It is patriotic to be pro-vaccine. It is patriotic to look out after one another. It's patriotic to look after public health. Absolutely, Vicky. I know, kudzu. Yeah, exactly. They're just wrong. They're just wrong. Yeah, Andrea, that's just wrong. I mean, so basically the rates of heart inflammation is from myocarditis 1 in a million with the vaccine. So that's the rate of getting struck by lightning. And if you're worried about myocarditis, the rates of myocarditis are 580% higher with COVID itself. So you're worried about myocarditis and you're worried about inflammation, it's even worse with the actual it's worried with the actual infection. Yeah, a lot of people that had the vaccine were protected when they got COVID from serious adverse side effects. Exactly, Sky. Exactly. I'd rather get the myocarditis than long COVID at this point. Exactly, because myocarditis is a temporary condition, and that's then it alleviates by definition. So it's yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly, kudzu. Exactly. Yeah, Andrea. I mean, you got 2 testimonials right there. It's stronger than anything that I could say. Exactly, Darcher. It literally is the likelihood of getting eaten by a shark, dying by a shark. Insane. Dang, kudzu. Wow, that's crazy. Good, Vicky. Good. Exactly, Nightflyer. Exactly. So, in our misdiagnoses, so we just learned about the epidemiology. We learned that World War I helped push it, right? We heard about the secondary infection, the bacterial infection that happens and takes over after the primary viral infection of the H1N1 of the influenza. Now we have misdiagnoses. Good, Andrea. Keep up the fight. Because the virus that caused the disease was too small to be seen under a microscope at the time, there are problems with correctly diagnosing it. The bacterium Haemophilus influenzae was instead mistakenly thought to be the cause, as it was big enough to be seen and was present in many, though not all, patients. For this reason, a vaccine that was used against the bacillus did not make infection rarer, but did decrease the death rate. During the deadly second wave, there were also fears that it was in fact plague, dengue fever, or cholera. Another misdiagnosis was typhus, which was common in circumstances of social upheaval and was therefore also affecting Russia in the aftermath of the October Revolution. In Chile, the view of the country's elite was that the nation was in severe decline, and therefore doctors assumed that the disease was typhus caused by poor hygiene, causing a mismanaged response which did not ban mass public gatherings. Wow. That's awful. Wow. Wow, Sky. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow. Role of climate conditions. Interesting. Studies have shown that the immune system of the Spanish flu victims could have been weakened by the unseasonably cold and wet weather for the extended periods during the pandemic. This affected especially troops exposed to incessant rains and lower than average temperatures during World War I, and especially during the second wave of the pandemic. Climate data and mortality records analyzed by Harvard University and the Climate Change Institute at the University of Maine identified a severe climate anomaly that impacted Europe from 1914 to 1919, with several environmental indicators directly influencing the severity and spread of the pandemic. Specifically, a significant increase in precipitation affected all of Europe during the second wave of the pandemic from September to December 1918. Mortality figures follow closely the current increase in precipitation and decrease in temperatures. Several explanations have been proposed for this, including the lower temperatures and increased precipitation provided ideal conditions for viral replication and transmission, which also negatively affected people's immune system, a factor proven to increase likelihood of infection by both viruses, and the pneumococcal comorbid infections documented to have affected a large proportion of the pandemic victims. Responses, medical treatment, information dissemination, mortality. Okay, I want to do mortality. Okay, let's do the whole thing. Public health. I know, crazy the misinformation and also the poor information given. That's just insane. It's just where we are doomed to repeat the past, aren't we? Kind of, Heather. Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's all good, Darcher. Yes, exactly, Morgan. Yes. Yeah, isn't it wild? So then the pandemic, right? The worldwide spread of this thing is just exacerbated by all these troops. Just wild. While systems for alerting public health authorities of infectious spread did exist in 1918, they did not generally include influenza, leading to a delayed response. Nevertheless, actions were taken. Maritime quarantines were declared on islands such as Iceland, Australia, and American Samoa, saving many lives. Social distancing measures were introduced, for example, closing schools, theaters, and places of worship, limiting public transportation, and banning mass gatherings. Hey, look at that. Wearing face masks became common in some places, such as Japan, though there were some debates over their efficacy. Oh, man. There is also some resistance to their use, as exemplified by the Anti-Mask League of San Francisco. Vaccines were developed, but as these were based on bacteria and not the actual virus, they could only help with the secondary infections. The enforcement of restrictions varied. To a large extent, the New York City Health Commissioner ordered businesses to open and close on staggered shifts to avoid overcrowding on the subways. A later study found that the measures such as banning mass gatherings and requiring the wearing of face masks could cut the death rate of up to 50%, but this was dependent on their being imposed early in the outbreak and not being lifted prematurely. Oh, doesn't that sound familiar, guys? Doesn't that sound so familiar? Yes, Heather. Oh my gosh. This sounds so familiar. Can you explain long COVID? I heard There was an update. Not sure if this was factual or not. I mean, it's a neurodegenerative disease that's caused by, SARS-CoV-2 infection. It could be a persistent infection in organs that could cause a lot more than just like the previously thought fatigue. So we're talking lots. This is just Wikipedia. This is just you can have lots of different organs involved. You can have lots of different neurodegenerative diseases, similar to like vertigo loss, hearing loss, loss of taste, all that kind of stuff. We watched the interview with Iwasaki about it, so that was something that you want to watch. I know, Embers, right? I don't understand, player. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, yes, guy. Multisystem atrophy, MS, ALS, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. Yep. It's multifaceted, man. It's crazy. All right, Raptor. Nice. I'm happy to see it. I gotcha. Here you go. All right. Medical treatment. There were no antiviral drugs to treat the virus and no antibiotics to treat the secondary bacterial infections, and doctors would rely on an assortment of medicines with varying degrees of effectiveness, such as aspirin. Oh my gosh, it's big bunch of stuff. Information dissemination. Due to World War I, many countries engaged in wartime censorship and suppressed reporting of the pandemic. Oh my gosh, what a perfect storm. So not only are you actually spreading it, but you're actually wartime censoring it, talking about it. For example, the Italian newspaper was prohibited from reporting daily death tolls. The newspapers of the time were also generally paternalistic and worried about mass panic. Misinformation also spread along with the disease. In Ireland, there was a belief that noxious gases were rising from the mass graves of Flanders Field and being blown all over the world by winds. There were also, it's like a miasma thing. That is wild. There are also rumors that Germans were behind it, for example, by poisoning the aspirin manufactured by Bayer. Oh my God, it's a pharmaceutical thing. It's a big pharma thing. No way. How does it never change, man? How does it never change? How does it just never change? I don't get it. Oh my God. Mortality. Wow, look at this chart. That is crazy. The Spanish flu infected around 500 million people, about 1/3 of the world's population. Wow. Estimates on deaths vary greatly, but it is considered to be one of the deadliest pandemics in history. An early estimate from 1927 put global mortality at 21.6 million. An estimate from 1991 states that the virus killed between 25 and 39 million people. At a 2005 estimate put the death toll at 50 million and possibly as high as 100 million. However, a 2018 reassessment by the American Journal of Epidemiology estimated the total to be around 17 million, though this has been contested. Estimates done in 2021 by John M. Barry have had the death toll alone as well above 100 million. With the world populations of around 1.8 to 1.9 billion, they were estimates correspond between 1 to 6% of the population. Why does it vary so much? I know, Darchman, isn't that crazy? A 2009 study on influenza and other respiratory viruses, based on the data from the 14 European countries, estimated a total of 2.64 million excess deaths in Europe attributed to the Spanish flu during the 18 to 19 phase of the pandemic. This represents a mortality rate of about 1.1% of the European population, considerably higher than the mortality rate in the US. And the authors hypothesize is likely due to the severe effects of the war in Europe. Dang. The excess mortality rate in the UK has been estimated to be 0.28 to 0.4, far below the average. This is just like all the different rates. Devastated communities. Oh, really? Well, I didn't. That's actually really interesting. Yeah, every person that's in childbearing years should be taking folic acid. It is good. 50% of pregnancies are unplanned, so you take folic acid in a basic prenatal vitamin. That's just a good plan. Even in areas where mortality was low, so many adults were incapacitated that daily life was hampered. Some communities closed all stores or required customers to leave orders outside. There are reports that healthcare workers could not tend to the sick, nor the gravediggers buried the dead because they were too ill. Mass graves were dug by steam shovel and bodies buried without coffins in many places. Bristol Bay, a region of Alaska populated by indigenous people, suffered a death rate at 40%, with some villages entirely disappearing. Oh my gosh. Nenana, Alaska avoided the extent of the pandemic between 1918 and 1990, but the flu at last reached the town in spring of 2020. Oh no. Reports suggested that during the first 2 weeks of May, the majority of the town's population became infected. 10% of the population were estimated to have died. Most of them were Alaska natives. Several Pacific Island territories were hit particularly hard. The pandemic reached them from New Zealand. Where is New Zealand girl now? Come back, come back. The pandemic reached them from New Zealand, which were too slow to implement measures to prevent ships carrying the flu from leaving the ports. Oh, why won't you? God. Like, I will forever haunt me that we never tested the people coming in from Europe, whether or not they were SARS-CoV-2 positive. Like when everyone was shutting down and we knew it was happening, we had all these people coming in from Europe and we did do nothing about it. And this is exactly, God, this is so frustrating. I'm just like having flashbacks to when this exactly happened in the United States. From New Zealand, the flu reached Tonga, killing 8%, Nauru, 16%, Fiji, 5%. Worst affected was Western Samoa, which has been occupied New Zealand by, which can be occupied by New Zealand in 1914. 90% of the population was infected, 30% of the adult men, 22% of the adult women, and 10% of children died. Oh my gosh. The disease spread fastest through the higher social classes among the disease spread fastest through the higher social classes among the indigenous peoples because the custom of gathering oral tradition from chiefs on their deathbeds. Many community elders were infected through this process. Oh no. That's so sad. In Iran, the mortality was estimated to be around 8 to 22% of the total population. Oh my gosh. The country was going through the Persian famine of 1917 and 1919 concurrently. In Ireland, during the worst 12 months, the Spanish flu accounted for 1/3 of all deaths. In South Africa, it is estimated that about 300,000 people, accounting to 6% of the population, died in 6 weeks. Oh my gosh, it's so fast. That's what's so wild. It's like the second wave came in and just boom, took them so many out. Patterns of fatality. This is interesting. The pandemic mostly killed young adults. In 1918 and 1919, 99% of the pandemic influenza deaths in the US occurred in people under 65, and nearly half of deaths were in young adults 20 to 40 years old. Wow. In 1920, the mortality rate among people under 65 had decreased sixfold to half the mortality rate of people over 65, but 92% of deaths still occurred in people under 65. This is unusual since the influenza is typically most deadly to weak individuals such as infants under the age of 2, adults over the age of 60, and the immune compromised. Hey, those are all people that we should vaccinate, guys. Wild. In 1918, older adults may have had partial protection caused by exposure in the 1889 to 1890 flu pandemic. According to the historian John M. Barry, the most valuable of all were pregnant women. He reported that in 13 studies of hospitalized women in the pandemic, the death rate ranged from 23 to 71%. The most vulnerable of all. Okay. Of all of the pregnant women who survived childbirth, over 1/4, 26, lost the child. Gosh. Another oddity was the outbreak was widespread in the summer and autumn. Influenza is usually worse in the winter. Wow. There are also geographic. Yeah, 6 weeks exactly how they're so fast. Oh, it could do. Yeah, maybe. I know, Morgan, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, interesting. Yeah. There are also geographic patterns in the disease's fatality. Some parts of Asia had 30 times higher death rates than some parts of Europe. And generally, Africa and Asia had higher rates, while Europe and North America had lower ones. Is that just because probably the second wave was coming in? They never got the first wave, and the second one came in and just wreaked havoc. There are also great variation within continents, with 3 times higher mortality in Hungary and Spain compared to Denmark, 2 to 3 times higher chance of death in sub-Saharan Africa compared to North Africa, and possibly up to 10 times higher rates between the extremes of Asia. Cities were affected worse than rural areas. That makes sense. There are also differences between cities, which may have reflected exposure to the milder first wave giving immunity, as well as the introduction of social distancing measures. Hey, that's what we did. We were told to do, and we didn't do. All right, guys. Dang. Oh, the interesting research would be interesting. Similarities between reconstruction of the virus and Asian viruses, combined with the human pandemic preceding the first reports of the influenza in swine, led researchers to conclude the influenza virus jumped directly from birds to humans, and swine caught the disease from humans. More recent research has suggested that the strain may have originated in a non-human mammalian species in 1882 to 1913. This ancestor virus diverged from about 1913 to 1915 into the classical swine and human H1N1 influenza lineages. The last common ancestor of human strains dates between February 1917 and April 1918. Because pigs were more readily infected with avian influenza viruses than are humans, they were suggested as the original recipients of the virus, passing the virus to humans sometime between 1913 and 1918. An effort to recreate the Spanish flu strain was a collaboration amongst the Armed Forces Institute of Pathology, the USDA ARS, and the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York City. The effort resulted in the announcement in 2005 that the group had successfully determined the virus's genetic sequence using historic tissue samples recovered by pathologist Johan Holten from an Inuit female flu victim buried in the Alaska permafrost. No way! And samples preserved from American soldiers. This enabled the researchers at the CDC and the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, led by the Dr. Terence Tumpy, to synthesize RNA segments from the H1N1 virus and reconstruct the infective virus particles. Wow. They were subsequently used to experimentally infect mice, ferrets, macaques, providing information about how to prevent and control future pandemics. Guys, that is the gain of function stuff that they're talking about, and they deride. That's the exact stuff. They're trying to understand what parts of the genome and the actual sequences do the work in order to understand it. That's what the gain of function research is. That's what these people are trying to get rid of when they're saying don't do gain of function research. They want us to not learn about evolution. The 2007 Kabasa reported that monkeys infected with the recreated flu strain exhibited classic symptoms of the 1918 pandemic and died from an overreaction of the immune system. This may explain why the Spanish flu had its surprising effect on younger, healthier people, as a person with a stronger immune system would potentially have a stronger overreaction. In December 2008, researcher by Kawako of the University of Wisconsin linked 3 specific genes, PA, PB1, PB2, and a nucleoprotein derived from the Spanish flu samples to the ability of the 1918 flu virus to invade the lungs and cause pneumonia. Again, that's the gain of function research, guys. These genes were inserted into a modern H1N1 strain and triggered similar symptoms. That's molecular biology, baby. What were the long-term effects? I don't think that there was like a long-term effects for the H1N1. Not like COVID. Oh, this one I skipped it. I was just interested in going to the legacy and stuff. Looking through the research. 2008 investigation used the virus sequence to obtain the H hemoglobin antigen and observe the adaptive immunity in 32 survivors in the 1918 pandemic. All of these presented seroactivity, and 7 to 8 further tested presented memory B cells able to produce antibodies that bound to the HA antigen, highlighting the ability for the immunological memory. Cool. At the team of the Mount Sinai School of Medicine reported the 2009 flu pandemic vaccine provided some cross protection against the flu pandemic strain. Oh, that's cool. So if you actually get the 2009 flu vaccine, you're actually getting some protection against the Spanish flu. An AIR Worldwide Research and Modeling Group has estimated the effects of a similar pandemic occurring today using the AIR pandemic flu model. And the model, a modern-day Spanish flu, would result in additional life insurance measure losses of between $15 to $27 billion in the United States alone. Way more than that. SARS-CoV-2 was way more than that, with 118 to 337 deaths in 1,000 deaths in the United States. Way more. There's no way. I mean, no offense. Ooh, in 2018, Michael Werby, guys, this is one of the preeminent SARS-CoV-2 researchers that did all of the Wuhan market studies. Michael Werby, a professor of the University of Arizona who was examining the history of the 1918 pandemic, revealed that he obtained tissue slides created by William Rowland, a physician who reported on a respiratory illness likely to be the virus, while a pathologist in the British military during World War I. Werby extracted tissue from the slides to potentially reveal more about the origin of the pathogen. Incredible, dudes. Incredible. Guys, I am really exhausted, so I think I'm just going to call it there. It's been really fun to read about this, but that is, guys, we just learned about the number 1 most deadly pandemic in the world. That is so interesting. So happy about that. I love that we're learning about this stuff. It means a lot to me. But before we go, guys, this is your time. And I just want to point out, thank you so much to all the subscribers, the super fans. That's the number one way that you can present the help and help the show. I appreciate all the super fans. I appreciate everyone, but super fans, thank you so much. Thank you to the last super fan, Casey. Thank you to all the gifters, Embers, Ado, Stars, Vicky, Jared, Helen, Rebel, Morgan, Alina. Thank you to 1 like, guys, 100 likes, 1,000 likes, or 15,000 likes like Cindy Rose, or 11,000 like Darcher. Thank you so much. 10,000 like Rapture, Ado, Andrea, Ducray, Bailey, Christine, Stars. Thank you guys so much. Linktree, Super Chat, Discord, Papers, YouTube, Archive, Publications. Right? Pretty good? Is that good or what? That's it, guys. We're done. We're outie. We're outro. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to sleep a little bit more tonight, guys. It's been so much fun. Still out of it from Disneyland. I might be getting sick. I hope not. But maybe we'll see. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much for all your support for here. All these streams, supporting me, watching me. Thank you. See. Boom. Boom. Jaboom. See you guys. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Peace. Have a good one. So say your Omar. Have a good one, man.